Well, don't I want Krispy Kreme now with its scent of delights and fragrance of roses? Yeah, apart from a few things, this movie is amazing, but it does wonder how much Krispy Kreme paid to be the plot of the movie, but even though its product placement is still cheesy and funny, nonetheless. So let's morph into this review. So the film starts off very dark, like that band film that was on YouTube, was uploaded a while ago, which is one of my favourite YouTube vids. Zordon is crawling while his team is dying around him as Rita turned on them. Before he dies, he places Zero Crystal in a safe place and supposedly kills Rita. We cut to like 60 million years later, where we open with Jason stealing a cow. So he went from Rangers dying to stealing cows and jerking off a cow when his friend mentioned he thought it was female. So moving on. The cops come for them and Jason crashes his car while being chased. So another time jump, but like an Asian man's dick, it's a lot smaller as it's only 3 weeks. Jason has to go to detention to repeat his grade at the school as he costs his career and his whole life by getting in trouble. So he meets some of the cast, including Billy, who we talk about later with the elements of diversity in this movie. And he's getting picked on by a bully who we don't know the name. Well, we don't know his Barkle Skull as his name is never said, so that's a shame. Also, we meet Kimberly where she's getting picked on, but we find out later why and we get to that. I like this time to say that Krispy Kreme has many flavoured donuts for your tasty pleasure, including white tasty fudge, like the kind you see in your teenage son's sheets. Billy tells Jason to take him to the quarry where he says there is something in the rocks. We also see Zack and Trini here, not at a peace conference, as Zack's spying on Trini doing martial art things. Jason leaves Billy to see Kimberly taking an evening swim and thinks he's drowned, but they end up talking about leaving Angel Grove as there's nothing left for him there. Billy blows up the rock face trying to find something. Jason and Kimberly, along with Zack and Trini, come run and see what happened. And they find power coins and activate them while also at the same time bringing back Rita too. So they escape from the cops but crash the car, but wake up the next day fine like it was just a dream. Just like the dreamy taste of Krispy Kreme donuts that fill your mouth with buzzing sensations and joy. Pick one up today. They discover they have superpowers kinda geared towards Chronicle here for that and cause a lot of damage to the area around them. Jason's father finds Rita sleeping corpse with the fifth. Jason's father finds Rita sleeping with the fishes apparently. Must have gotten into trouble with the mafia and leaves her in the boat. As he wakes up and goes on a murder spree, Rita in this movie is batshit crazy and not poorly dubbed this time. Jason tells the others to meet him where they found the coins and jump into an underground water cave where they swim to Zordon's ship cave thing and meet Alpha 5, played by Bill Hader, who design and acting is good but it's not hard to top Alpha 5 in the show really, is it? Zordon appears to say that the power coins chosen to be the new Rangers, just like in the original show but with better acting sets. Zordon in show was also a wizard, but here is the Red Ranger, but maybe a wizard too. Didn't explain that. He tells the Rangers to morph to battle Rita and find the Zeo Crystal, but we all know really why he wants the crystal, as he probably has Jesse cooking in the back. Just like the fresh cooking that Krispy Kreme does for its customers. Their newly baked donuts and pastries are just like a little taste of heaven. Also today. He sends them down to the pit where they engage in a montage to help them train and raise their skills and awareness about to Rita's army of rockers while Billy searches for the Zeo Crystal. As Zordon wants for certain reasons and his fighters lead to a Krispy Kreme that says delicious donuts and pastries to satisfy your taste buds. We cut to them wanting the campfire to stay and build their powers. Trini talks about Pete that he's the black sheep of her family and Zack looks after his mother alone. They all go home for the night, but somehow Rita knows where Trini lives and throws her around the room, as we love a bit of girl-on-girl action, and threatens to turn her against the Rangers, and tells her what she knows. Also, Kimberly tells Jason that the reason they can't morph is because he's backstabbed her friend over a boy. You know, teenage things, and they kiss. Trini meets up with the others that Rita tried to make a deal with, which you would find on the internet later, as he declined it, and knows where she's this is. So the heads of the dogs. I guess where Rita ambushes them by doing sick kung fu martial arts with her stick and captures the Rangers. She asks where the Zeo crystal is to keep from Zordon Zordon, but for all we know, she's maybe the DEA, and tortures Billy to spill where it is, and he with her thinking it's a magical place. Well, obviously the Krispy Kreme is a magical place, that is, he has a huge array of colourful treats to pick up and eat for your eyes. Only Rita supposedly kills Billy and walks away. The gang bring Billy back to Zordon and say he's dead. Zordon tries to get through the morphing grid but comes back, give Billy life instead of him. They morph up and go to face Rita. So here is where the action begins and bad stuff sort of. So Rita creates Goldar, who is just a tall monster and cannot speak, and his design is just gold. So you get Goldmember and Goldfinger who use boners. The Rangers faced against the Putties, where Angry Joe said that the only Blue Ranger did something, but he was wrong and it was a great fight scene. So odd why he said that. Then they see Rita and Goldar is on the move and get in their Zords. Rita is destroying downtown Angel Grove with her Rockabillys and trying to find the crystal when the Rangers arrive with their Zords. And their design is fantastic. It's the Megazord design that's crap. So they battle everything there and apparently accidentally kill Rita. So movie's over. The villain's dead. So go. No go. Well, obviously he's not dead. As Goldar has healing abilities now. And bring him back to life. So the going to square off with Goldar. And it's a great fight. So while Rita is having a bit of bite out of Krispy Kreme's delicious donuts that are like a cherry on top of a cute kitten or like a flower in the summer breeze. So taste our donuts today. The Rangers begin to lose, but form the crappiest Megazord and beat Zolda the easy battle. And then Rita tries to get all Aquaman from the recent Justice League trailer, but gets bit slapped into space, where he's headed for the moon apparently. So the day is one and everyone is celebrating, as we even see the two cameos from Amy Jo Johnson and David Frank, so that letter worked out well then. So the gang go back to school like normal while also being superheroes. We also see that in the post-credits scene that Tommy Oliver is now going to the school and ready to cockblock Jason from Kimberly. So that's the movie, and it's amazingly great with only a few flaws, but so we get to that later. Great overall plot too. So the majority of the characters in this movie are fleshed out and impressive. I heard that the diversity stuff they put in and that was all background, so it was no problem. So let's start with Billy. As usual, Billy is the nerd as he was in the show, but this time he's autistic apparently. So much progression and tolerance, eh? No, but seriously, it's done well not put in their face to please the PC crowd and SAGWs. He's dynamic and one in the group who thinks fast and actually finds where the crystal is. He's also a bit socially awkward as being a nerd and autistic, so his character is great. Now, Trini, played by Becky G, who I haven't heard from a song for a while, so maybe she's gone into acting. And she's another great character as she only wants to be herself and only herself. Her family seems to hate her, apart from her dad and I guess brothers. As they're young, and she's also a lesbian as she had many girlfriend troubles. And seems depressed, which is why she does a yoga art to calm herself down, as no one cares about her. So she's a very relatable character to many girls like her, and she looked good in those skinny jeans. Becky was thick and Latina, best combination. So on to Elizabeth Banks as Rita, and I tell you she chooses some batsy crazy roles. As she blew this out of the water, she was evil, sadistic, cruel, and also murderous. As you see her kill a cop, and rip a gold tooth out of a hobo's mouth. We don't know if she's human either, that's not explained, but she talks like she's from another planet, so maybe an alien. Kimberly's character seems to be on the bad side, as she seems to don't give a shit, and her main story is basically did something bad over a boy and want to get over it. Now, Goldar and the Putties, it's darn saying that they make Goldar an actual character, as he just walks like a tall monster and growls as he's not interesting at all. And the reason they're called putties is because they're made out of mould by Finster, so call them Rockies or something. So basically everyone else was great, but there's an exception of those two. So onto the setting and locations. Angel Grove ain't a big city this time, it's like a small town. But all we see is the school, some houses, the high street and the Krispy Kreme. But that's okay, it doesn't need to be a huge city, just a town, and it's cool. Zordon's lair looks very modern and futuristic, along with Zordon, who looks like a metal thing you make shapes out of. The lair is also bigger than a normal command center as the gang run through it. Also, it isn't a huge eyesore in the desert where everyone can see it, so the setting and locations for this movie is few, but well done, no problem with it. The designs for this movie is half and half. The Ranger shoots, the Zords, Rita, Zord and Alpha are fine, but it's Goldar, the Putties and the Megazord that are terrible. So the Rangers' outfits, they're not outfits, but it materialises on their skin, which is cool, and makes an actual battle suit for combat instead of spandex that leaks sparks to its truck. So that's a step up. Rita looks like a space witch and designs, funny enough, off Scorpino, who was a female henchman that appears briefly in the original show. But this is all green and scaly looking, which makes more frightening and scary, as he was a bit goofy over the top in this film. So design and custom decor along with her staff. So on to Alpha 5. As I said, it's not hard to design Alpha, as he was only a simple robot. The design is cheesy and good at the same time. He's also a bit more feisty too, as he's a less of a coward. So he was cool. So Goldar, Putties and the Megazord. As I said, Goldar is just all gold around and pretty set and not memorable at all. The Putties just look like rock came to life and plain as shit and boring, so no creativity went into that. So on to the Zords. The Zords separated are fine, as they have colour and no. And what they are. I know what they are. It's the Megazord that looks cheap and silver all around, just basic, so don't know what happened there. Looks like the designers got lazy. So that's the design. Apart from a few things, the rest is perfect and nothing else to complain. So the tone. It looks like it gets its inspiration from that fan-made film on YouTube, but it's also cheesy in some places, which sorta confuses the movie. The more dark and mature tone comes from the Rangers as they're teens and have a lot on their plate. Even their backstories are quite emotional and sad to some, as Trini being a black sheep, Billy losing his dream, Jason losing his dream, Billy with his autism, and Jack with his funny humour when he's actually trying to hide that his mother's dying. So their characters are dark and mature, as is real life. But on the other hand, with Rita going goofy and the Krispy Kreme being the main plot, it makes it cheesy and weird. Especially Alpha at the time with his jokes. It looks like they're trying to go for both here, but it conflicts, but not that much, as it has its own worlds. So it doesn't make the movie bad, but the overall tone is odd, but I guess clever. So the ups and downs. I already explained most of this, but mainly a recap. Most of this movie is on the up with its superb acting and setting. The characters are all great, apart from Goldar and the Putties. I said they're dog shit, but hopefully they fix this if they have a sequel. Designs are great, apart from the Putties, Goldar and the Megazord. And I hope their Megazord changes too. The rest is fine. I heard critics don't like this much, but the critics aren't fun-loving, so yeah. So the list are the flaws, but not much, but as it's a near-perfect movie. So, should you see it? Yes, and don't support that Beauty and the Beast, which is glorifying Stockholm Syndrome and bestiality. It is also against Emma views, but he's stupid and thinks he's a great feminist, which he isn't. So yeah, take kids to see this. This is a more mature tone, but it's still a movie for kids. The only bad part is where Rita is going to be a psycho, but that's all. It's a way better movie than the Beauty and the Beast, trust me. And I didn't do a review of that, which is a shame. The Krispy Kreme placement is odd. Either the writers like going there, or Crispy paid a lot of money reason why all the jokes made in this review. I don't have them here, but as I'm English, we have like Baskin Robbins and the Dunkin' Donuts, I think, so yeah. So this movie is fun for all the family, and don't listen to the grumpy critics who give this a bad review and make your own opinion, and my rating is an 8 out of 10. It's a lot better than that Turbo movie and that Mighty Morphin movie, so enjoy it and go and see it. Might get something out of it, and hopefully if you support it, it might be a second movie with Lord Zed. And I'm looking forward to Lord Zed in the second movie, so yeah. Or we might get King Bondu or Astronomer or something like that. So yeah, this is my review of Power Rangers. So we'll be doing co-op playthrough of Wildlands later, and my next review will be Ghost of the Shell, I think, and maybe Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and see you later. Toodles!